Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing something a little bit out of the ordinary, and I think it's a little bit out of the ordinary even for YouTube. This is an idea that I've had for a while, and I actually got inspired to do it, I think, from a sort of, not a tag, but a video that kind of went around and a lot of people were doing it in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. And it's been a little bit, it's been a year or two, I think, since I've seen this, and it's sort of always stayed in the back of my brain as an idea that I kind of wanted to do on my channel. One sort of problem that we have on YouTube, and I don't really know that it's a problem, but it's something that it's good to be aware of as a viewer, is that most people make videos about things that they're good at. That makes sense. I mean, on my channel, I talk about writing, and I talk about language and linguistics and, you know, books and things that I'm very passionate about and that I'm very knowledgeable about for the most part. And that's great, and that's inspiring, and that's wonderful, and all those things, but it also sort of separates you from reality sometimes. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, and if you've only followed me on YouTube for a short time, maybe all you've seen from me is stuff that I'm good at and stuff that I've really dedicated myself to and to learning and to getting better at, but you've never actually seen the other side of me. And this other side of YouTube, because every single person who makes videos here, from the tiniest of channels to the absolute biggest of, you know, YouTube celebrities, there are things that they're good at and there are plenty of things that they're not good at. So long story short, I thought it would be really fun today to just pick out 10 things, 10 of many, many things of course, that I'm just bad at, that I'm not good at. The first one on this list is a bit of an exception because even the newest subscribers to my channel might have seen my very recent video, so you might know this one already, but I am really, really bad at cooking and baking. I have literally always been bad at both of these things. When I was growing up, I had an older sister and a younger sister, and my mom and dad and both my sisters I think were all better at and liked cooking and baking more than I did. For the most part, I kind of, you know, was able to avoid it. When I helped out in the kitchen, it was, you know, cleaning up or getting stuff out of the fridge, and there was just always somebody else there at home who was better at it and who liked it more than me, so that was kind of my excuse, and I kind of sneaked out of actually learning how to do it. I've definitely gotten better, I've made some progress, but as you can see in my last baking video, when I try something new, like a recipe I've never tried before, I'm still just really bad at it. The second thing I'm really, really bad at is sports. I go to the gym now, and since probably the time when I was about a teenager, I've started working out, and I really enjoy working out. Not all the time. I mean, I'm just not terribly athletic, but I enjoy a bike or an elliptical or something, and I enjoy lifting weights even. But sports and, you know, playing even the simplest of sports like volleyball with friends, not competitive at all, or like frisbee or something like that. I tried softball when I was really, really young. I tried soccer, I tried gymnastics and all different kinds of sports. I did ice skating even when I was really, really young, and just none of them were my thing. I didn't take to any of them. The third thing I'm really bad at is doing anything even slightly risky. You might be thinking, okay, but you moved to the UK when you didn't know anybody, and now you moved to France and, you know, started a whole new life. Yes, I have done those things. I've definitely been more risky in that way than a lot of other people might be willing or want to do. But what I'm talking about here are things that are like physically risky. So I'm talking like adrenaline junkie types of things. Even stuff like bungee jumping or skiing and things like this that tons of people do. It's very, you know, it's as safe as anything can be. It's more dangerous probably to drive in a car, but if it's just slightly risky in that way and just slightly adventurous, I am terrible at it. I have the hardest time forcing myself to do things like that, even if it's very safe, even if secretly I kind of want to. The fourth thing I'm not very good at is being patient. This is something that does depend on the circumstance, obviously, but just kind of as a general rule, I like things to move quickly. If I want something, I want to get out there and get it and have it done right now. And sometimes it works really well and can help you get things done, but a lot of times it just ends up making the simplest of things a little bit more tricky and a little bit more difficult. I'm bad at just making myself sit down and chill and just let things go. The fifth thing that is definitely not one of my fortes is directions and maps. This might surprise some people, and when I've told people in the past it has, because, you know, I'm living abroad and this isn't the first time I've lived abroad. That's something you'd think I would have learned how to do a little bit better by now, and the sad thing is I have. Like, the state that I'm in right now is an improved version compared to 5 years ago, but it's just not a, you know, gift that I have. It's definitely something I have to work a little extra to sort of figure out. Once I do something, like once I go to a certain place and I take a certain route, I'm usually pretty good. Like, I can memorize stuff. My memory's not bad. Like, that's not a weakness, but it's just, I think, the spatial awareness, and like, I'm terrible when I look at something on a map and I see a flat map, it all makes sense, and then I try to apply it, you know, in 3D. That's just not how my brain works, I think. The sixth thing I'm bad at is painting my nails, which are actually really long right now. I never have long nails like this. They're normally short, like violinist stubs. I really like painting my nails. I love having nails that are painted, but I think because I'm so bad at it, painting anything or drawing or anything like that's never been something I'm super strong at, so I guess that sort of factors into the same skill set. But whatever it is, I'm really, really bad at painting my nails. I have to paint them the day before. I want them to look nice so that when I get it all outside the nail and on my skin, I can, like, you know, scratch it off the next day. It sounds absolutely awful, I know. Anyone watching this who's really good at painting their nails is probably like cringing so hard. I'm sorry. The seventh thing that I just cannot get the hang of is walking in high heels. Now this is something that I actually used to be pretty good at. When I was a teenager, when I was at university, I was in orchestra all the time and I did gigs, you know, I played for weddings and I played for special events. Often I would wear heels and I get really good at walking in them. But the past several years, I think since about the time I moved to Bristol and I had to start walking everywhere and I didn't drive, I stopped wearing heels because, you know, the streets and the sidewalks were just so difficult to walk in and there were, you know, uneven stones and things like that, and it was just kind of a safety hazard to walk in high heels even if you're really good at it. So I kind of just stopped wearing them for a while, and now I find myself at the end of, you know, 4 or 5 years, however long it's been now, and I've lost the ability to walk in heels. I still will wear them occasionally, but I try to wear them only when I know exactly where I'm going and it's minimal walking. But I'm living in Paris now, so nothing is really minimal walking. The eighth thing I'm pretty bad at is keeping secrets when the secret isn't something super important. I do want to clarify right away that this does not apply to when, like, a friend or someone very close to me confides in me, or when it's something really important. Like, I will take that secret to the grave. But when it comes to things like, say, surprise parties or gifts, even if it's a gift that I'm giving, so I have like an investment in it and I really want it to stay a secret, I am really, really bad about not blabbing and not accidentally hinting. I show it, I think, on my face. Like, anytime a subject will come up kind of, you know, similar to the topic, I start feeling really weird and I think I show it pretty easily. Again, this is only in like super light matters and things that are super important, like surprises and stuff, but yeah, I'm definitely not the one that you want to rely on to help you plan a surprise party. The ninth thing that I am just absolutely terrible at is dealing with needles. This is something that might be even close to a phobia. I am terrified of needles. I don't know why. It's so bad that I seriously would rather watch like Lord of the Rings and shows like that than somebody have their blood drawn, like in a medical show, or, you know, somebody have a shot. This is a girl who watches Castle. This is a girl who watches Game of Thrones, even though in fairness, Game of Thrones I kind of watch like this half the time. But still, I watch these types of things and I can somehow get my mind over those things. But when it comes to needles, I'm absolutely terrified of them. I don't know why. And the 10th and final thing that I am bad at, and I hate admitting this every time I have to, but it's true, I am really bad at dancing. I am a lifelong musician and I sing and I play instruments and I love music, and I feel like I have pretty good natural rhythm as well and natural tone. Not perfect pitch, but I think I have almost perfect pitch, and so like my standards for myself when it comes to anything musical is pretty high. But dancing, I can't do it. And it's the most frustrating thing because when I'm listening to music, I can feel the beat, I can feel the rhythm. I want so badly to be able to move my body to the rhythm and I just can't. Maybe it's the lack of coordination and the lack of balance and all those other things that I don't have, but I can't do it. When I was really little, actually, I was in dance classes. It just didn't last. When I got a little bit older, I wasn't super interested. Maybe if I'd stuck with it, I wouldn't be terrible, but I do think that there's just a lack of natural talent in that particular area. It's something I regret a little bit too. I wish I was better at dancing, but here I am and I can't dance. Alright, so I am done now with my super honest confessions to you guys. Now it's your turn. So let me know in the comments if there are 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 things you want to admit to the world that you are not very good at, especially if it lines up with any of my things. That would at least, you know, make me feel a little bit better. Also, if you vlog or if you blog or anything like that, feel free to make a video or a blog post about the subject. I think it's something that's not talked about enough, and it's something we shouldn't be scared to admit. Everybody has strengths, everybody has weaknesses, and you know, it's cool to talk about both of those, even if we typically want to talk about our strengths more so. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.